So it has been quite a hot few days here in Scotland, which is actually surprising, even for near the end of July, the height of summer, which is supposed to be summer. It's been a bit of a strange weather for the last couple of weeks. It's been really hot for a couple of days. It's been about 30 odd degrees, and then of course the weather breaks for a couple of days. Heavy rain, thunder and lightning, especially strong in some places across Scotland. It's not been too intense here in Dundee when it has been thunder and lightning, but in some places it has been extremely intense kind of thunder and lightning. Now, obviously today, as I record this, they're really coming up to the end of it now. But it's the first official day of competing for the Commonwealth Games. Of course, they're being held in Glasgow. Just for people's reference, useful fact. As I said before, I'm here in Dundee. Glasgow is on. Dundee is on the east coast. Glasgow is all the way onto the west coast, which is about an hour and a half, hour and 45-minute drive from here. About an hour and 20 minutes or so on the train. It's really great to see all these athletes compete, and obviously good luck to them for events that they've been training for many years, obviously. Hopefully the weather will hold so they can get all of these events done. Obviously it's going on for the next 2 weeks, the Commonwealth Games. For those who don't really know, the Commonwealth Games are for for countries which the Queen used to preside over, so really the so-called Great Britain ones that the Great Britain had major influence or ownership. There's about 70 odd countries in total that are competing during these games. Now, obviously, I said before, I was in Glasgow last week for the Eros comedy Roddy Piper, the tour to settle the score. There were a lot of publicity events going on last week in the build-up to the kick-off of the opening ceremony that was held last night, which I really didn't watch, of these games. But due to the delay of getting to Glasgow and trying to get something to eat, and then get booked in a hotel, and then get into the venue of which it was the garage in Glasgow of the Roddy Piper event, I really didn't have a chance to look at some of these exhibition things that were going on in places like St George's Square. But it's been really busy, obviously watching the news. There's lots of clips of people queuing for hours to get tickets to various events. So really good luck to everybody involved. Hopefully it'll all go well, and said hopefully the weather will actually stay for a few days at least. I'm sure they've got plans if for any reason, say the thunder and lightning comes back yet again. There's been 2 or 3 times in the last couple of weeks. Really heavy rain and a little bit of thunder and lightning across Scotland. I'm sure they'll have plans to take care of things if they can't do it all, because it's happening at Hampden Park, which is an open air stadium. It doesn't have a roof on it. Hopefully they'll obviously have plans to deal with that kind of stuff if it has to happen. Now, like I said, I was at the Tour to Settle the Score Eros Comedies event with Roddy Piper. I'm not going to go and review the event at the garage in Glasgow that I attended. Already done that a couple of times. Put up pictures, picture video, some of the pictures that I took, which was actually fantastically shared by Roddy Piper's official Facebook page and his Twitter feed, which was great, and shared by other people, of course. And I also put up a video talking about it. But what I do want to quickly say though is that Glasgow was the second date in the tour. The first city of the tour was Inverness, up north in Scotland, and ever since the tour's kicked off, I've been looking on bits on YouTube. I've been wrestling various wrestling websites like Blue Hair, Loudmouth, Wrestle Ropes, many of the different wrestling news websites, reviews put up by fans and different social media and websites and so forth, talking about people's experiences attending the various tour dates. It's going from the 14th to the 28th of this month. So I believe he's got a couple of days off and a couple of final shows before it ends on the 28th of July. But I'm really glad to say that from reading all these reports, watching these videos, hearing all the reviews and all the reports, it all seems to be going extremely well. The tour seems to be a massive hit, a huge success, and I'm not just saying this just because I was on Piper's Pit the last time he was over here in 2012, or because I've been fan of Roddy Piper for many, many years. It's the truth. Go look up on YouTube. I'm sure there's various people like myself talking about them going to the events, and search through different reviews. Just search for, I don't know, Roddy Piper Eros Comedy tour review or something, and I'm sure you'll find something. But it does seem genuinely, a lot of the feedback I've seen on Twitter, on Facebook, and on various websites, like you said, has been absolutely tremendously, overwhelmingly positive. Really has been. A lot of people really taking the chance to meet this WWE Hall of Famer, to ask him questions, to attend the shows and hear his stories. It's many different stories being told on different nights, which is exactly the entire plan that he said he would be doing. If you hear his Piper's Pit with Roddy Piper podcast on podcast1.com, that's what he said he would be doing, and that's exactly what he's been doing. But different stories on different nights. Obviously, he would get bored telling the same stories every night. It would take away from some of the funniness. It's like a joke. Like I said many times, I could tell a joke and it could be hilariously funny. And then somebody else tells it, and you may still laugh. You hear somebody else tell it, you may snigger a little bit, but you hear dozens of people telling you the same joke. Eventually, it will not be funny to you. Say, okay, you've heard that. And exactly what it would be for Roddy Piper or for any of these guys doing the spoken word tours, whether they were in wrestling, baseball, basketball, NFL, whatever. I'm sure it'd be the same for them. They would start to not really enjoy it. So he's mixing up the stories. He's got so many stories, like he said in Glasgow, and I said on that review video that he said, as well again, he said that, I said that, he said, it would take him many, many hours to tell even some of the stories that he has experienced and taken part in across his entire career. So it's really great to see and hear all the tremendously positive feedback that Rowdy Roddy Piper is getting for his Eros comedy, that EROS comedy. Check on Facebook about tickets for if you're interested in attending any last dates in England. I'm not entirely sure what the final dates are, but you can check them out on Facebook, Eros Comedy, for the details. I was really, really glad that this tour is going exceptionally well, and that everybody is really enjoying spending time with this. I'm not just saying it because I'm a Piper's fan, and as I said, I've been on Piper's Pit last time that he was here in Scotland, but he's genuinely a nice guy. You hear all the times that people meet him at various conventions and that, and perhaps even backstage at WWE or at WWE events. He's a really nice guy who has plenty of time for everybody, really appreciates the fans. I'm really, really glad that this tour has gone tremendously, tremendously well. Now, final subject as well. Obviously, I just want to say I've deleted a couple of videos today because looking at them, they're not really that great. But we are really, really coming up quickly to something that is extremely important to me. That is the Scottish independence referendum. Now, I want to say, after watching a couple of documentaries this week, these past couple of weeks, you can study a subject these days anywhere and about anything. You could study a subject online, just on your computer. You can study it full or part-time at a college or university or at a school, night classes, Open University, many, many websites, and some of them good, obviously some of them dodgy, but many, many electronic or e-learning schools and businesses, websites have sprung up over the last 15 odd years. So I said, some of them good, some of them bad. You can study every subject in, around, under the sun, even the sun itself. But truly, what I've always thought, you cannot really know a subject unless you experience it. And the same is for Scotland, because I watched all these documentaries. I'm not going to even name their names because I'm not even bothering naming the idiots. But they seem to think they knew all about Scotland because they'd been to Scotland several times during their life. And okay, they're maybe 50, 60-year-old women that, Scotland, like the United States, for me, it's always been there. I've always heard all my life about the United States of America, and I'm sure they've always heard about Scotland. But it does not qualify them. It does not make an expert. It does not make them an expert on Scotland because it's been there all their life, or that they've been a few times. That was one of the quotes. Oh, I know a lot about it because I've been there several times. No, that does not make you an expert. It'd be like me saying that I'm an expert in New York City because I spent 5 days there in September. No, you ask a New Yorker whether they know New York, and if it's somebody who really travels about the city throughout the course of their week, they will know a lot more than somebody like myself who has been there just for 5 days. Hopefully, also want to return one day, but they would know. They know about any subject a hell of a lot more than somebody who has studied it and not experienced it. If you have actually genuinely lived, experienced the subject, like I said, you really have to, especially when it comes to a country like Scotland, you really do have to go to the place. If you're studying a place or a people or a way of life, you have to go there, you have to experience it for yourself for an extended period of time before you can genuinely start to claim that you know about a subject. And it's exactly the same watching these documentaries. Also, it's very important to me because I was born, raised and still live here in Scotland, in Dundee, Scotland. So this independence referendum, however it comes out, is going to affect my life. It's going to affect the life of millions of Scots, both here at home and abroad. Obviously, in regards to a lot of different things. I'm not going to go into the subject too much because I don't want to ramble on for too long in this video. But we are only about 50 odd days away. September 18th, yes or no will be the vote on the single question: should Scotland be an independent country? That is the question that will be on the ballot paper. Registered voters in Scotland only will be able to vote on the subject, and it is coming up extremely fast. Now, I do not know obviously what I will be doing because I've got various things. We're looking for a job, looking for employment at this time to actually attend to, and so a couple of different work program things that may be coming up. So I don't know exactly what I'll be doing that day, apart from at least at one point. I believe the polls are closing that day about 10 o'clock or something, which is normally the time the polls close. But I certainly will be casting my vote yes at some point during the day. And also I've deleted a couple of videos, like I said, because I want to round up my views, round up my opinions in one single video that I'll put up before September 18th. I don't know what the legalities are about talking on YouTube. I'm not media officially. I'm not somebody who works for any press organisation, whether it be locally or internationally. Not locally, nationally or internationally. I don't work for anybody at all in any capacity right now, so I don't know exactly what the legalities. So I'll put it up certainly well before the polls close, because the last couple of elections they've forced people to take down videos or delete videos because some people complained and felt it's pressuring people into voting one way or another. But still, I'll be putting that up well before September 18th and the Scottish independent referendum. Like I said, it's a very busy time in Scotland. I'll end this very quickly just by saying good luck to all the athletes competing at the Commonwealth Games. Really looking forward to this weekend. Scottish Wrestling Entertainment holding their last uprising event at the Ardell Complex. I'll be bringing coverage of that next week. I'll also be, if I get a chance to next week, going a little bit around Dundee, taking some footage of Dundee, showing a little bit of the views of Dundee if I get the chance to. Haven't been able to work it into my schedule these last couple of weeks due to school holidays, etc. looking after family members. But really looking forward to this, and it's really an exciting time, busy time in Scotland. I said all coverage on all of these items coming up on this YouTube channel, and next video will be next week. It's the last video of the week, because I don't want to put too many videos up, and we've got things to take care of, preparations to do before the weekend. So really looking forward to seeing exactly what happens over the course of the next several months here in Scotland.